Hey folks, it's that time again for another VFX critique of a trailer, and we have the much-awaited Vinny never say his name right, Vernu. Anyway, Dune 2, which is pretty surprising how fast they got this trailer out with special effects. Um, Again, it's mostly DNEG. I'm sure there's other VFX houses doing little bits and bobs, but let's go ahead and take a look.
It's breathtaking. When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you.
In the shadows of Arrakis lie many secrets. But the darkest of them all may remain. The end of House Atreides.
Your father didn't believe in revenge.
What if Paul Atreides were still alive?
Have you ever had a dream about your first ride?
Don't try to impress anyone. You're brave, we all know that. Be simple. Be direct. Nothing fancy.
I understand. Nothing fancy.
You will never lose me, Paul Atreides.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
May thy knife chip and shatter.
Alright, so here we go. I got it slowed down half speed. Again, this is beautiful cinematography with the, I believe it's the Alexa 65, which I believe there's only 20 in existence, the cameras themselves. Seems like everybody's jumping on the Alexa bandwagon. A lot of people are abandoning Red just because of the performance and low ISOs for the Alexa. Just in general, it's I don't know, it's interesting that the red Komodo is out, and it's like $6,000. I was thinking about picking one up, but I don't know. I'm just kind of like still happy with my Black Magic. So, for what I use and for it doesn't really matter. So anyway, we got the looks like this is the princess giving us a little narration. What's interesting is there's no big drastic change in the look compared to the first one, which is great. If you ever seen like TV series like Stranger Things, it seems like it becomes more saturated. The camera movement becomes more crazy, and with that said, you get more of a, just a difference in it just feels like a different world each time. But with this, it stays consistent. And again, Denis Villeneuve is just an amazing filmmaker, and this is a perfect example. As you always hear me whining about how effects always have a specific sort of signature, which like whether it's the wispy smoke from, the Marvel movies or the lens flares that all look alike. Here is that guy that played Elvis or whatever. Now this is playing the Fade, which was originally played by Sting back in the day. Apparently he's gonna not have hair like everybody else, which makes sense. Again, we get little glimpses here. The Baron, obviously alive. And did I see something with that? Yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy here. You can see, like, right here, this is just, maybe I should slow this down even more here. Let's go down to 25. See what we can. Everything is kind of going through. It's a pretty long trailer, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Kind of shocked at that, you know. But I mean, majority of what you have here is just story, which is great. VFX are serving the story, and again, that's what I love about the folks over at DNEG. Just it seems like every time I see a visual effects shot by DNEG, it's just it doesn't look like a visual effects shot. It just feels unique. Every shot was sort of like instinctively pulling away from the stereotypical look of what you commonly would see in, say, maybe a dusk or a sand simulation. It seems like they always are consciously aware of making something not just realistic, but unlike any other visual effects shot that you would see. And again, I'm not like one of these guys going to suck up to some, company. I'll tell them, I mean, you know my channel, I usually just say what I think and just, whatever as best I can, and not try to be insultive or whatever, but I mean, you just got to be honest. I hate the world of everything is wonderful, you know what I mean? Like, everything's great, everything's beautiful, oh wow, great, 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 instead of being just constructively critical of certain things, for the betterment of the actual, just for story and for compositing and so forth, and so that audiences aren't picking up on the visual effects. That's always been the goal of visual effects artists, is not to have, even if it looks realistic, for the audience to go, oh, that's got to be a visual effects because it has that wispy look to it, or it has this specific look, or the lens flare is all over the place. It feels like a synthetic lens flare, Again, all this looks, again, amazing. Just everything from heat distortion to the shadows. I mean, this stuff kind of blows my mind. If this right here, this being a simulation or whatever, beautifully done, photographically looking beautiful. It has all those beautiful imperfections. It's not super clinically sharp, as you guys may or may not be aware. They did take this footage and do an extra step of putting it on film and then putting it back on digital. It was shot digitally, transferred to film in an analog format and brought back, which added maybe, I guess, assuming a little bit of softness or something. So just those extra steps, I really do believe it is those little things, those little nuances really make the film stand out above all the other visual effects type of movies and so forth. Again, the human eye is very quick on picking up patterns. So kind of going through this, I wouldn't say this is like stellar, simulation here, but I mean, it's just, it is what it is. It's like just beautiful imagery here. That's a nice shot, obviously. Anything with these copters is pretty cool. I think it's odd they're going to black and white. I guess it's supposed to give us an idea of the past of Fade on maybe Gidi Prime learning or something, or becoming a warrior. But it just seems kind of odd to kind of jump to black and white all of a sudden. Unless that's just maybe an editorial thing in the trailer. Unbelievable area, footage of Wadi Rum. I think that's the name of it, out in Jordan, which is incredible. So anyway, so you got the Queen. Really, really, I mean, just stuff like this that you would never even assume to be a visual effects shot looks absolutely beautiful. And it doesn't, like if you were to compare this to, say, what you saw in Avatar 2, sorry Avatar 2 folks, but it just feels so much more realistic. And again, those are two completely different types of movies. But again, I just love the grit. You can see even here, there's vignettes. It just feels filmic, but also it has a cinematic feel to it that has its imperfections, has its softness. It's not clinically sharp, So that's my gripe. I love this shot. This is so cool. The way he kind of comes out and everybody raises their hand. I mean, just simplistic cinematography, but yet beautiful. This is what filmmaking is, And then he's starting to kind of come out of his emo stage, where he's kind of like quiet and soft-spoken in the first movie. Now he's shouting, So yeah, that's a nice shot. Really nice work. And even this, I just love this title. Again, I always griping about title sequences, right? Like when we were like talking about the last one, which was that Beetle movie or whatever. It always, even like the Indiana Jones title, it has that synthetic After Effects look, and this does not have that. It has, first off, it's not super saturated. It's got all these wonderful little tiny nuances in it: dust, dirt, grime, not super saturated. All these little details. I mean, it also has has a motion to it, almost like a granular motion, organic sort of granularity to the motion, so it doesn't feel like some kind of like super sharp, where the edges aren't moving at all, and it just feels kind of like After Effectsy. So nice job, folks. So again, I don't know if there's going to be a part 3, but who knows? We'll see.